Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Amy. It's been a little bit. I took a couple weeks off around the holidays, so Happy New Year and happy to be back. If you have questions you'd like me to speak to on these Ask Amy's, send them to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com and I'll get them all there. So today I have a question from Jackie. Jackie says, I'm signed up for the course in February, which is the Little School of Big Change 6-week course, by the way. It starts February 6th. And I've listened to you speak about thoughts and fear and resistance. I'm struggling with anxiety and I'm aware of it. How do I lean into my fear and not resist it? I'm thinking I'm trying to do this, but I'm not getting any relief. I'm really suffering and feel like my world is getting smaller because of this. Any suggestions to help me along as I wait for your course? So, thank you for sending this, Jackie. And I'll mention to everyone here, I know I told you about it already, Jackie, and you guys might know, but I'm doing a free class. This is on this topic exactly, and I'm really passionate about this. I've been talking about it a lot in the past year. This whole thing about just feeling what is arising, what is showing up, exactly like Jackie's asking about. How do we feel our physical body, our emotions, our mind just overrun with what feels uncomfortable, what feels like anxiety and feels like fear? How can we be in that in a way that feels supportive and open and is even leaning into it and welcoming it a bit? Because I think we can all see, even if that sounds terrifying to you, and it's totally normal if it does, I think we can all get a sense of, hey, like things would be totally different if I were not afraid of this feeling. If this feeling were here and I was like, okay, here it is, and I'm just exploring it and I'm curious about it and I'm even welcoming it and I'm noticing it and I'm feeling it, that without a question is going to lead to a very different experience than saying, oh no, this is here and I don't want it and it's bad and it shouldn't be here. That is resistance, right? And even as I say those words, and I'm not even feeling this, I'm just talking about it. Even as I say those words, it's like you feel a tightening. No, shouldn't be, can't be happening. This is wrong. Why is this happening? Why is a huge question. We think there's an answer. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. Well, of course it's not logical and it doesn't make sense. But when that's what's going on, everything is tight. And it's like shutting the door on it, and still life will do what life needs to do. We are not in charge of life. You cannot shut a door and make life stop. But you will feel the shut door. You will feel it differently. It will feel like resistance and fear. And I know I know that feeling that you're in, Jackie, and it's horrible. So we want to start to flip this and feel comfortable leaning in and being curious about what's showing up. So there's not exactly a how. Anyway, in the free class, I was talking about that. We're going to talk about this for 3 days. It's a 3-day. It's tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday this week for 1 hour. I'll probably go a little over. Roughly 1 hour each of those days, totally free, and it's all about this exactly. So I'll put the link here where you can sign up for that. I think it's just dramyjohnson.com/welcoming. I'll put the link. Anyway, you can get the feel for the benefit to this, the reason to do it, how when we're leaning into what's arising, there is not going to be a problem with anxiety, because anxiety is some energy that our mind says, oh no, I'm afraid of this. I don't want to feel this. And so everything tightens and closes down around it. And then we feel it that much worse. So it doesn't mean energy is not going to show up. It doesn't mean sensations or butterflies or scary thoughts or any of that are not going to show up, but they're not going to feel like my anxiety problem when we're saying, hey, come on in. Let me see what you're all about. Let me check you out. Let me feel this. So anyway, I think we can see the benefit of that. But Jackie's question is excellent, and I know it's everyone's question. Like, well, how do I do that? I think, she says, I think I'm leaning into this. I'm trying to do this, but it's not getting any better. And in fact, I just continue to feel horrible about it. A huge part of leaning in and welcoming and being curious is really seeing it clearly. And I don't See, the problem is we think about seeing it clearly and we just make it all intellectual and we try to learn some facts about it and then we're not feeling it anymore. But I think naturally we think that it's dangerous. We think that a feeling is uncomfortable. Our experience is that it's uncomfortable, it's dangerous, and it's showing us that something's wrong. It's showing us some problem where it shouldn't be happening. I'm generalizing, but see if that tracks with you. In general, when someone's feeling a ton of anxiety, it feels dangerous, it feels uncomfortable, it feels like, oh, this is wrong. This is an anxiety problem. This should not be happening. And all three of those things naturally, not consciously, not on purpose, but naturally are going to lead to some tension and some resistance, because if something feels dangerous and uncomfortable, of course you push it away. You aren't even pushing it away. Of course your body tenses around it. And, on some level, it's like, no, no, no. Of course, if it looks and feels like it's wrong, our mind is going to jump in and try to find a way to prevent us from feeling this because it's wrong. Why would I feel something that's wrong? It's showing me there's a problem. Let me fix the problem. This is how a mind talks. But none of those three things are true. And this is what I will pose to you, to all of you, to kind of just see for yourself. It's not dangerous. What if there is nothing at all dangerous? It is totally safe to have this energy coursing through your body, even to have your heart racing, if that's what's happening in a panic attack or any physical symptom. It is inherently in and of itself in that moment a safe experience. What if it is not uncomfortable? And I know this is a tough one to see. For sure, our experience is that it's uncomfortable. But our experiences of it as uncomfortable primarily because our mind is saying, I hate this, this is anxiety, this shouldn't be happening. So again, the tension, the fighting, the resistance, just the belief that this is an uncomfortable thing is going to lead it to feel really uncomfortable. But what if it is not inherently uncomfortable? What if it's just inherently fast or hot or whatever it might feel like, but it doesn't have to be horrible? These are explorations we can kind of take that start to open us into feeling exactly what's showing up. And it is not a problem. It's not showing up because there's something wrong. It is there to be seen. It is not there. Everything that arises is arising to be seen and felt. And just sit with that one for a second and see how that would completely change how you're viewing it. Because I know when I feel something that my mind says, this is uncomfortable, I don't like it, it sure as heck doesn't look like it's there to be seen and felt and welcomed in. My mind jumps in and says, oh no, see, this is a problem. Let's go think about this other thing. Or let me talk you out of this. Or don't worry, you'll be okay. Or it'll pass soon. Or all that stuff our mind does to try to help us. But what if every single thing that's arising is absolutely perfect and it is here to be seen and to be felt? That changes everything. That flips everything. So as we start to see this more and more, we naturally start to lean in that much more. And it's not just about understanding that, it's experiential too. It's like leaning in to the energy, Jackie, when it shows up, just for as much as you can. Maybe it's 5 seconds. That's totally fine. And then you go back into your head or you distract. That's totally fine. But even just for a few seconds, see if you can just notice how anxiety feels. But don't call it anxiety because it's just energy. It's just sensation. Where are the sensations in your body? What do they feel like? Where is your mind going? As soon as you kind of flip into this, like, let me be curious about this, you start to see that it is not what your mind is telling you it is. That curiosity stance totally changes things. So we can start to lean in little by little, and I'm not exaggerating. If you can do it for 5 seconds and then you need to go distract, fine. Do it for 5 seconds. Be curious. See how it feels. Watch it move a little bit. This is what starts to show us firsthand. Oh, yeah, I can feel this stuff. Excuse me. It shows up. I feel it. It does what it needs to do. I can tell you that all day long, and everybody can tell you that all day long, but it's not until we actually start to lean in and experiment with this that we really see it. So play with that. I love in this question, Jackie, where you say, I'm really suffering and I feel like my world is getting smaller because of this. And I just want to pull that bit out because I know, again, I've been there with anxiety. I know that's exactly how it feels. Like the world is getting smaller. And it feels like the world gets smaller when we say no. When we are saying no, that's not okay. This is not okay. I can't feel this. I can't handle that. No. Obviously, that's what makes a world small. We're saying no to all of this. It's supposed to feel small. It's because our predominant word in our head is no. So we're shutting out all kinds of stuff. This is how I need it to be. I need to feel this way. I need to be calm. I need this to happen. That's going to make for a small world. But what we're talking about and what we're going to be exploring so much more in this is saying yes. And when we say yes to anything and everything that shows up, your world gets really, really big and starts to feel really, really safe and really amazing. So it's not just white knuckling and saying yes and okay, fine, I'll feel you. I mean, it's really like, yes, I can do this too. And then you just baby steps. You just say yes to the next feeling and yes to the next feeling. And then maybe you say no and you take a break and then you lean in again and it just grows in amazing ways. So I just think that world getting smaller thing is really, it makes perfect sense because when we're saying no to and saying certain experience is not okay, of course our world feels smaller. That's exactly what's happening. But when we start saying yes, our world starts feeling a lot bigger. So thanks for sending this, Jackie. I'm so glad you're going to be in the Little School of Big Change in in February next month, because that's going to really show you a lot about this for sure. That's the best place to go to really start seeing this. And I'm glad that you'll be at the free class and you're doing great. You can't see, we know how to feel or we don't know, but we don't need to know. Our mind will say, I don't know how to do this. And I think I'm resisting and it's not getting better. Notice all that as the mind. That's just the mind putting judgment on it. We're designed to feel. I mean, it's happening all the time. So see if you can just lean into it and with a little bit of curiosity, just for as long as you possibly can. I don't mean try to make it long. I mean, if it's 5 seconds, wonderful. And just be curious about what's there, with the what if in mind, that, hey, what if this actually isn't dangerous and it isn't a problem and it actually isn't as uncomfortable as my mind is telling me it is. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Jackie, for sending your question. And I'll see you guys back here next week and hopefully in the live class starting tomorrow. Bye, everyone.